Thanks for your time today, Johnny. Just got to the quarterfinal of the UK Open. How are you feeling ahead of Nottingham?
Yeah, I feel good. Darts are going good. Confidence is high. So yeah, looking forward to this tomorrow night, and hopefully I can pick some more points up.
Yeah, top of the league, 5 points clear. It's a fantastic start. Did you imagine it would go so well at the start of the campaign?
But I always know what you have to do. I've been in this before, so you know points are so important. So obviously I've had a good start, and hopefully it carries on. So I look for 2 points every week. Obviously, if I have more, it's obviously a plus. So because there will be weeks that you're not picking 2 points up. So so far so good.
Yeah, I was going to pick up on that. You mentioned before that your approach to the Premier League is kind of the 2 point where you just want to get that first win and anything else is bonus. Now that you've got like such a lead on the standings, is that kind of still the case? Do you think 2 points is enough every time?
Yeah, you still got to attack. At the end of the day, it's you know you're trying to get as many points as you possibly can. And if I could qualify for week 17 after week 12, job is done, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? So it's yeah, it's always attack. It's always looking for the 2 points. Like I say, anything more than that is a plus.
And it's not an easy opponent to attack this week. You've got Michael van Gerwen. You've played each other 14 times across the Premier League and you've won eight of them. So it's a pretty good record. How much do you enjoy that matchup in particular?
Yeah, I enjoy playing against Mike. I respect Mike a lot. It's I've always liked the way he plays darts. He never blames anybody else. He just plays, and if it's not his night, he blames himself. Nobody else, nothing else matters. He goes back and he focuses on what he's done wrong. And I think I've picked a lot of tips up from that. Nothing, nobody else can help you. It's just you've got to put things right, and I really respect that. So to play against Mike, we just go up, we play the game of darts, no nonsense. The winner, somebody has to win. So whatever that is at the night, it will be. So hopefully it's me.
Best of luck for it, Johnny.
Thank you, mate.
Johnny, last year, 24 points got you to the O2. Have you set yourself a tally that you think you're going to need this year? Because it seems ultra competitive, everyone taking points off of everyone. Do you think that might be a little bit lower this year?
I don't know, to be honest with you, Phil. You're not going to know that until later on in the league, basically, isn't it? Until you're in week like maybe 13. So then right, this is what we're looking at. But like I say, I'm looking for 2 points week in, week out. Anything above that is a massive bonus. So that's my goal, is to try and pick up some points week in, week out, and hopefully it gets me over the line to week 17.
Where is the mindset right now? Because losing in the final in Cardiff, then a good run to the UK Open quarter final, you're playing really well, but not winning titles like you like to, but you're still putting in good performances. So, is there a balance in the mindset between winning and just picking up points, or are you happy with these performances at the moment?
Well, I'm only human. Like, do you know what I mean? You win some, you lose some. It's at the end of the day, I'd like to win everything that I play in. And so would everybody else. So, no, quarterfinals last week. I'm doing something right. I'm going late in stages in competitions. So that's what I want to be. I want to be back at the top of my game, and slowly, but it's getting there, I think. And hopefully Premier League will be finals night one more time. So who knows?
Well, you've played in this Premier League format before. Is this the most competitive Premier League we've had in this eight-man format? Because at the moment it's brutal. Everyone taking points off of everyone. Luke Litter only just getting back into the playoffs. Luke Humphreys outside. Is this the most competitive it's been?
Well, I think it's the most competitive that I've been in. I have to be honest. So I can only speak as what I find. It's a good thing, isn't it? That we're all picking points of each other. It makes it more exciting. There's no like a runaway. So it's kind of it's exciting, and hopefully I'm going to be there at on the 17th night, and that's all that counts to me, really.
Cheers, Johnny.
That's right.
Hi, Johnny.
All
Um,
right.
how you doing? You
Yeah.
said over the weekend in mine head about that number four spot of the number three spot and four spot of Michael van Gerwen is a real aim of yours. Did you imagine sort of a decade ago that you'd be aiming to be ahead of Michael van Gerwen in the rankings?
Not at all, Josh, to be honest. I was just proud to be a part of it. but I've done something right, and I've got a chance of maybe catching or passing Mike. But I'm sure he's gonna have some ideas on that as well. So he won't want a little Welshman passing him, So yeah, at the end of the day, that's my aim. If I can get above Michael Van Gerwen, I can always say I was that one spot better than Michael Van Gerwen in life. So I'd be quite happy.
The form that you're showing now, and you've shown sort of since the second part of last year, how comparable is it to the form you showed when you were picking up multiple majors in a year?
I don't know, to be honest. I'm just enjoying it again, Josh. Yeah, and that's the biggest thing, isn't it? You're enjoying it. There's different players playing well. There's different, we have a new face in the block. Luke Littler. There's different people playing, and at the end of the day, I'm enjoying my darts. I got a smile on my face. The confidence is high, and that's all that counts. Who knows what comes.
Luke Humphries said to us over the weekend that not having Nathan Aspinall in the Premier League maybe means there's not quite as much banter sort of being thrown around in the practice room. How is it back there? Is it a little bit different without Nathan?
Well, I think it was 3 years ago I was in the practice room with Nathan Nass, so I've forgotten what he was like. No, but Nathan is a character, he's bubbly. He's one of those guys that everybody takes a liking to. He's a good guy, and he doesn't stop talking. So it's not quite like that in the practice room, but we still have our little banters, but I can imagine it's not as noisy as what it would be if Nathan was there.
Mhm. And just finally, Luke and Nathan himself have been along to Cheltenham this week. I'm sure you've had slightly different preparations for Nottingham. How's it been?
Yeah, I don't have much interest in horses, to be honest. A horse to me is something that eats grass in the field. I don't get the things that go around tracks like. So I'm not a betting man. So but I have looked on social media and I've seen that they're doing all right there. So obviously that's their kind of thing, but not for me. So I've come up here a day early now while they're still enjoying the races, and yeah, I've got to focus on darts, not the horse.
Did that work in your favour, Johnny, that you're up there a day early?
That's what it is. That's what it is. That's my way of thinking. Hopefully, I'm the favourite.
Okay, thank you, Johnny.
Cheers, pal.
Hi, Johnny. Thanks for your time. When I last spoke to you in Glasgow, you told me that you're being called Grandad, and that Grandad had just won the Premier League night. Has the banter calmed down? Have they stopped calling you Grandad now that you're a threat?
Yeah, there's no need for that, isn't there? I'm a young granddad, isn't it? No, but we still have band. You're never going to stop Michael Van Gerwen from saying something daft. So that's all banter. I take it as banter, and I quite enjoy it. So I can give back as good as I get. So yeah, I enjoy it.
Is it curiously a little funny? That banter might be light-hearted, but in the back, it's nice for the old boy to show the 19-year-old what to do these days and sort of show everyone how to play.
Well, I'm doing my job. I've had the experience in this before, so I know what I have to do. We can all banter, but when it comes to that stage, we have to concentrate. And so far so good. It's going good for me. So hopefully it continues.
And just finally from me, I noticed you're restoring a car. Is that your secret passion? I saw on your social media that something's being done. Is that secret Johnny passion?
That's the beast. Yeah, I'm building an old a Mark II Escort, an RS 2000. So yeah, that's ongoing with me. And yeah, I love the old rallying. So I'm not saying that I'm going to rally it because it's going to cost me too much money. But yeah, that's one of the things I enjoy. So I finally got my hands on an old Mark II Escort, and I can't wait.
Is that the only car you've got, as in speciality car?
Yes, that's the only car. Thank God. God, I'd have to win the Premier League every year if I was decided to do this all the time. But no, all jokes aside, it's something I've always wanted to do, and finally got the chance of building one.
Yeah, and sorry, just finally, what's it actually being done? Because is it being wrapped or sprayed or something at the moment?
At the moment, it's being wrapped to protect, obviously, the paintwork. But it's a full rebuild, so yeah, it's going to be exciting.
Great stuff. Listen, thanks a lot and good luck tomorrow night. Thank you.
Cheers, mate.
Hi, Johnny.
Hi there, you okay?
Good, thank you. How are you?
Very good.
You say that you don't feel like you're at your top level yet, despite, winning nights, getting far in competition. So what do you feel your top level is?
Well, it's lifting a little bit more, trophies. That's the top level. So if you're doing more of that, obviously you're playing a little bit better than what I am at the moment. So, but I'm getting back there, man. It's nice to play with a smile on my face again. It's nice to want to go to darts rather than go, I have to go to darts, So, Wednesday comes now and it's basically right. We need to go. It's time to try and make some more money, and I'm enjoying it. And that's all I can say. I'm enjoying it again. And hopefully that brings the best out of me.
It definitely will. And, John Part was trying to say over the weekend that he thinks it's a bit of an ominous sign that, Luke didn't maybe play his best, but still lifted the UK Open. Do you guys see that as an ominous sign, or do you think that's just part and parcel of someone just having their moment in the spotlight?
Well, the thing is, like I say, we're only human. We're not machines. It's at the end of the day, we all have ups and downs. We all play really well, and we can all scrape through with not as good a performance. So, that's what it is. If your luck is in, if you hit the right shot at the right time and you win a game, that's all that matters. It doesn't matter how pretty it is winning that match. It's winning the match. So, you need a bit of luck. You always need a bit of luck in sport. And, like I say, we're not robots. And, we go up there, we try our best. Sometimes it doesn't go to plan. But, if you win pretty, it's a great thing. But a win is a win, and that's all that counts.
Thanks, Jonny.
To change your